You're listening to the Lux Life Discovered podcast, where we talk with people who are living a lifestyle that reflects their passion, because we believe everyone should be living their best life, their Lux Life. The show is hosted by Rick Steiner with Steiner Event Group, a premier national event planning company, and co-hosted by Shannon Richmond, the Vice President of the Panama City Beach Chamber of Commerce. If you are watching on YouTube, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell to get notifications of future episodes. The show is produced by 30A Media and is broadcast on your favorite podcast outlets, as well as YouTube, Roku TV, Amazon Fire TVs, and other major brand smart TVs.
Hello, I'm Rick Steiner. Welcome to Lux Life Discovered. Our guest today is Sandy Morales from Jonesboro, Arkansas with Sandy's Bakery and Catering. So Sandy, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, you're welcome, and thank you for being our sponsor this month. So that's even more special. And you do baking and catering all across Northeast Arkansas and actually the Mid-South, right?
Yes, sir. That's
All right.
what we're doing right now.
Okay. So how did you get started? Where did your love for cooking and the whole catering aspect come from?
Well, cooking, I guess, is in my blood. My mom, my grandma, my sister, everyone loves to cook, and obviously I got it from them. But a few years ago, some of my friends, a couple of my friends, asked me if I want to join them in one of the bridal shows here in Jonesboro. And they said, just come over and bring whatever you want. And I said, okay. So I that day I brought just a charcuterie board and a couple chocolate covered strawberries, and that was it. And I didn't know what I was signing for. They just invited me. I like to be with them and being around. I was already in the baking business, which with our bakery, and they said, well, just come over and be with us. Just come so you can see. So I remember that day. And they said, well, she can do catering, because I used to cook, but very few times for some special people, nothing huge, nothing big, no big weddings, no nothing. And they say, why you don't do it as a business? I say, what it takes. And he's like, well, nothing. You already cook. I mean, just have to advertise yourself. And yeah, 2.5 years later, here we are. With almost every month, we have at least one or two. Like this month, we have 5 weddings, so that's how we start.
Well, and I tell you what, your food is delicious. You're always at my bridal shows, and I appreciate that because, it's just, I know the food is going to be great. It's just a matter of like not overdoing it that day, because every time I walk by your area, I feel like I need to pick something up. And, a lot of people think that, the Mexican food would be your specialty, and which it is, of course, but you hit on everything. I mean, there is not anything that you can't cook, and that's what makes it even more interesting.
That's exactly right. A lot of people think it just because Sandy's Mexican Bakery and Catering, they will think, oh, what she does is tacos or Mexican food. And no, I mean, I will tell you that it's the least thing that I do. Most people ask for, like right now, the heavy hors d'oeuvres are very popular in most of the weddings or bridal showers and stuff like that. That's what I do. I do a lot of pastas. I do a lot of steaks, chicken. I mean, I do anything. You tell me what you want, and I will make sure I cook it. If I don't know how to do it, I will Google it, and we'll figure it out.
Well, and you also add those little special homemade sauces with your touch that really set everything off. That makes it even more enjoyable.
Yes, and I love to cook, and I think that's what people can taste, the passion that I have for what I do. I don't do it just because of business. I don't do it just for how much money I can make. It's because I love to do what I do.
Right.
Definitely.
Well, and your presentation, that is also something that you really excel in, because there's a difference between having a dish to serve and having one that's just like, you hate to mess it up. It looks so good. And then you also think if it looks that great, it surely can't taste that great. And you kind of blow both of those out of the water, because everything looks great and it tastes as delicious as it looks.
Well, you know what? A funny story about that is whenever that very first time that I went to a bridal show, um, a couple came to us and I was, what do you offer? He told me. I said, well, today we just have the charcuterie board and the chocolate covered strawberries. And he told me, and that's it. And you call yourself a caterer? That like in that, instead of putting me down, challenged me to
Right.
not only be do the best that I could, but to be the best and try every single time. I know it's a lot of wonderful people out there, but you know what? I am my own competition, my own. I want to do something better and better and better every time. And I think that's what I'm doing right now. I just did a wedding Saturday, and I was telling my husband this weekend, I said, what else I can do? What else I can do to upgrade this? I don't like to settle. I love to give my customers the best. I don't care if I have to put out of my pocket, money out of my pocket, I will do it. And I'll make sure everything looks pretty and presentable. And because it's not only for them, it's also my reputation and it's what I do.
Right.
And I want them to have a special event in whatever I do.
So what size weddings can you do? I mean, you do the large weddings, you do the small weddings. So
I do
like this
any
weekend, was it like 250? Is that right?
250.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. We're having another one coming up at 350. I already did a 350 one last year, if I'm not wrong, or 2 years ago. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Times is flying.
I know.
But we have another one in Little Rock with 350. And yeah, I mean, it can be 25 people. It can be, I mean, you name it, I'll be there. You wanted to have something special. And it's what I tell everyone. It doesn't matter how small, how big it is. I'm going to treat your wedding and your event as if it was the most important thing ever, and if it was the hugest event. I mean, I would try to do the best I can to make it very special for you.
Right. And that's something that's a lot of people can't do because they think a small event, um, they can't be as bold with their presentation, but you're able to do that because you did a bridal shower recently, or was it the bridesmaids luncheon that I
Yes,
reposted?
bridesmaid luncheon, and
And
I
you
loved
went,
it.
yeah, and it was just absolutely perfect. And it's not a large event, but it looks like it was a feast, you know? And then you can do the larger events and you're so detailed with your presentation, with your, even to the chafing dishes. I mean, everything is on point. And you can make a large event seem small and intimate, have that personal touch. And that takes a unique gift to be able to do that.
And I love to do. I love what I do. I mean, it makes me so excited just to be able to be part of their special day. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's a wedding or quinceañera or a birthday party. I mean, that is honor for me. I feel like it's a very you know very special moment to be able to make memories for them, because all that food, all those little details gonna be in pictures.
That's
So
right.
I
Yeah.
wanted to do the best.
Well, good, good. And I'm honored that of course, most of your business has been based on bridal shows and people that have tasted your food at various weddings or events. And so our food tasting we did a couple of weeks ago with my couple getting married next year that I'm the planner for, that was your actual first food tasting.
Yes.
And I didn't realize that till afterwards. And I was joking earlier before we were on the air that, anytime you need a sampler for a food tasting, I'll be available. So I don't want you to have your feelings hurt that nobody's there to taste it. I'll take one for the team. So.
I know I can count on you.
And then I look forward to Thursday night because we'll be doing another food tasting with another couple. And so, how do you think the food tastings? Are you enjoying that so far, or because you did another one after that? Yeah.
I loved it. I mean, I always thought about something like that, but I guess I didn't have the right people around me. And you came, you asked for it, and David was more than happy to help us too to do it at his place. And I love it, and I'm gonna keep doing it. And like I said, I mean, what is the best? I guess it's the best thing to have an intimate, tasting, because at the bridal shows, yes, they can taste, but most of the time either they already ate it's too many people. You cannot talk to them like you want to. And yes, they taste the food, but it's not the same. So whenever we did it, I loved it because you could see their faces whenever they're eating your food, trying it, and they were like. And I remember that the second couple after you left, they were like, "Oh my God, I want everything," and they wanted everything, and it was like I don't know how many sides they want it all, and that makes me so happy because I mean, they love the food. They love the taste. And they told me we can tell how much passion you put in it because I mean it's delicious. So it's an honor for me.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, like I said, your food is delicious too. So that's, yeah, it's easy. And your desserts. I mean, it's not like, I like the fact that cakes are great and you do a great job with the cakes, but I'm liking the dessert bar options that you're providing as well, because not everybody wants a huge cake anymore. Most people, are you finding this true too, that they're wanting a smaller cake for the bride and groom to cut, and that to be pretty much the purpose of the cake. And then they want the dessert bar with a big array of desserts. And are you seeing that becoming more popular?
Yes, sir. I mean, it's very rare that I don't find a bride that is like, I want a small cake. I want something small, but a variety of desserts, and it can be anything. And that is really good because being in the wedding, myself, and most of the time I see they don't need the cake. And you know how expensive wedding cakes are? I
Yeah.
mean, come on, it's super expensive for them not to be enjoyed. So that's what I tell all my brides that come to me. It's just like, let's do something different. I mean, yes, we can have a cake, a small cake, maybe a small two-tier cake, or like this coming wedding on Saturday, it's two-tier cake. And then for 150 guests, we're gonna do a whole dessert table. I know they're gonna enjoy it. They love it because I do from chocolate covered strawberries to just the slices of the strawberry cake or tres leches, which is my signature cake. We can do anything. I put up to 6 to 8 different desserts depending the amount of people and the amount of guests
And
there.
don't forget
So,
the chocolate covered Oreos.
oh, those are
Oh,
really good.
those are very good. Yeah, I that's what I overdo it on. It's not the pasta, which is great too. The chicken pasta that you do. I mean, that's just like everything's great though. That the tasting. Um, I think it would be hard to make a decision sometime. Like, how do we limit? And so I guess,
Exactly.
yeah. So it's either you don't, or you cut something out that you really really like and you wish you weren't cutting out.
Yeah, and that's what happened with the last tasting that I had. It was so hard for them to decide what they wanted it, and they wanted it all.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. I mean, it was like 6 different sides. They having steak, they having chicken, and like easy. There's 6 sides. I mean, everything. They said why? Because the mom was like, let's take out the potatoes, or let's take out the vegetables. And the dad was like, why you want to take them out? They're so good. Just leave them. And I said, okay. So
Yeah.
we're doing
Well, if their guests leave that reception hungry, it's their fault, right?
it.
I mean, it's not going to be your fault for sure. So, what's the biggest challenge that you have seen so far as a caterer? Is there anything that stands out uh, that's been maybe something that you hadn't planned but you overcame it and it was a huge reward? Have you had anything like that yet?
Not really. I love what I do, and I try to get prepared. So I had an accident one of the weddings, and we overcame, and we came through. We dropped some food, and little details that hurt a lot, but
Yeah.
we did it. We did it, and it was, thank God, it was a small wedding, but it was okay. But no, I mean, everyone loves us, and I feel like being in the baked goods business, for almost 7 years already, that have helped us a lot because people trust in us. They know whatever I do it guaranteeing that it's going to be the best. And I mean, they just love that. So I love what I'm doing right now, and please, I don't want to have any issues.
Right. No issues. Yeah. Well, and that what you mentioned was a good point too. You have to be flexible and you have to adjust and make it work because you can't panic because it everything the wedding's going on, the reception's going to happen. You just have to make the best of whatever happens when if it
And
if
we
it
always
does.
have to think, and always have to think and have in mind that it could something could happen.
Right.
Something can be, you know, you can drop the cake. You can, I don't know, drop a pan of food like I did. So I don't know. Are you there?
Yeah, yeah. You just got to be able to adjust to it and go because it's hard to, a lot of people can't do that. So you have to really you have to kind of think on your feet sometime and be prepared. So in addition to the weddings, the bridal showers, bridal lunches, um, let's talk about corporate Christmas parties because that's coming up
Ooh, I
soon.
love
Yeah. So what can you do for a corporate Christmas party that may be different or just add your touch to something? What do you have in mind?
Well, this year I'm planning to go all the way, big time.
Well,
Uh,
that's a given.
uh, because I want to make their special, you know, for them. Last year we did several Christmas parties, but I noticed that a lot of the I guess office people were in charge of these parties and having to stress out with everything. And this year we want to do it different, and that's why you came in. You know, and the plan is let's do something together where we can offer, you know, everything, a whole package.
Right.
But I do from light hors d'oeuvres to a very heavy ones, fancy. Like they just call me and tell me that they don't have a budget and they want to have 100 guests and they want the hors d'oeuvres. And I said, okay, what kind of people are you feeding? I mean, you want something that is I can do something simple, I can do something very fancy. And they said, we don't have a budget, go for it. Okay.
Oh, Sandy, I
So
love those. I love those two words, no budget.
no budget. I love all the caterers and wedding planners and
Right.
everyone loves those
We
words.
will talk about this off the air for sure. Yes. No. But it's fun when somebody gives you that freedom because with that
Yes.
freedom comes responsibility too because you don't want to go too far, like off the realm of what's really needed. But at the same time, you've got the freedom to make it special and over the top.
Exactly. And I mean, I that's what I told them. I want to be fair. I don't like to take advantage of no one.
Right.
And that's one of my, I guess, morals. But it's I told them I can do this, and this, and they were like, yes, go ahead. So I have done brunches for corporate Christmas parties. I have you know, live food at dinners or just the cocktail hour. I do anything, whatever they ask me to, I would do it. I mean, they want tamales, we make tamales too.
You might do some Mexican food for them. Yeah,
Yeah,
sure. Yeah.
yeah.
In fact, you've got some great tamales. I haven't had any yet, but I've heard people talk about how great your tamales are now that you say that. So
And we don't have time anymore to make them.
I was going to say, but you did used to do have like was it a certain day of the week that you did the tamales?
We did it every 2 weeks or once a month, depending on how busy we
Yeah,
were.
I've forgotten about that.
But
So you said that.
now I used to make everything myself. I'm prepping everything myself because I'm very jealous of how things are done. And then my friends or the girls that I know work with me, they will help me to prepare them. You know, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. We used to do almost 100 to 150 dozens every time. So
Wow.
it was a lot of work.
Wow. Wow. And so now you just don't have time to do the tamales.
Nope.
That's a good problem to have.
I am so sorry. I even myself crave them, but I don't have time. Yeah, I cannot hear you. There you go.
All right.
There you go.
All right. Where do you see yourself in like 3 years? Where would you
Ooh.
like to be doing? Where would you? I mean, I'm just going to say you're going to be in Jonesboro, so I don't want to like scare people, and I don't want you going anywhere. But 3 years from now, what would be the perfect ideal situation for your catering and bakery?
Well, obviously going around more around Jonesboro areas, which we're doing it, but I want to go bigger. I want to be able to do a lot more people than what we're doing right now. And definitely I want to have my place where I have the actual catering set up where people can come to my place and enjoy the food that I'm doing. And yeah, just grow, become better and better and better every time, and be able to serve anywhere. And if you invite me to Florida, I mean, I go to Texas, New York. Someone asked me this at the bridal luncheon, if I travel, and I say, where you want me to go? New York? Let's go. And they're like, I take you, Sandy. I say, let's go.
Well, I
So
know
I go
that's
to go anywhere.
well, and that's true, and that's really key because a lot of times we like here we have a lot of people coming in for destination weddings, but they don't know like locals to use sometime. So they do like to bring their own people in that they know they're going to get the quality. And of course, you know, after working there for 3 years, there's so many different talented people in this area. So it's fun to, what's interesting is that you're talking about like you would come down here, and I know caterer here that I deal with in a lot of my area here, and she goes all over the country, just like you're talking about. So it's kind of funny how people are so versatile and you know go to so many different areas and really follow their client or their you know company or whatever. So
I go anywhere. I mean, and that's what I want to do. You know, I get inspired a lot, obviously, by Instagram and all those, big time caterers. I want to be like one of them. I want to be able to do those kind of things. Engineering, you just wait a little bit. I told my husband, I'm excited of what the future is bringing, and it's in front of us, and I'm taking it. Whatever it comes to me, I'll take it because I want to be that person that makes different things. I don't want to be like anyone else. And like I said, I want to be my own competition. Me trying to be better every time.
right, not cloning what somebody's done, but bringing your own unique style to it.
Exactly.
And that's where I think we see a lot of, in on our business, a lot of people miss the mark because they're so focused on cloning that they lose their creativity and bringing what brings them unique to the forefront.
And you see all my food and my presentations. Yes, I got inspired of a lot of Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, stuff like that, but I always put my touch. I always gonna do my own thing, my own twist,
Right.
even with the food. I mean, you see, because we haven't invented anything, but we always gonna put the little touch there, just so makes it unique, and it's our special things.
Right. So, okay, my bridal show is September 17th. What kind
Yeah.
of, do you have anything special that you're thinking of for the bridal show that you can share?
Well, I was gonna have a wedding, but thank God the wedding got moved to October 28th.
Right.
So we're gonna go
So
big
now you have
time.
no excuse. No,
No,
I'm just kidding.
no. But yeah, I want to do different stuff, and I already read big cheese fountain where we're gonna have. I haven't had that one before,
Right.
and we're gonna have a lot of food that people are gonna be able to taste Mexican stuff. And obviously keep with my pastas because everyone loves it.
Right.
And I'm going to incorporate a steak that I did for one of my customers not long ago, and they loved it. So a little bit of that, and we're gonna try to bring a big cake because now I have a cake decorator, and she's amazing. And yeah, we want to grow that area too a little bit, and bring
Right.
something special. Definitely something special.
Well, I'm glad you have that new cake person involved because
Yeah,
there's only so much you can do.
exactly. And I was struggling a lot because you know, I cannot do it all. I was doing the food, I was doing the dessert tables, and the cakes at my bakery were putting behind, and I wasn't taking any orders. But now that I have her, she's been with me 3 weeks, I think, and we have doing so many cakes and so many different designs and stuff like that. And she's amazing. I just pray God that she stays with me for a long time, and
Right.
you know.
Well, and you always have a good group that works with you too, which makes a huge difference as well. And not only is it a good group, they're very professional, and it just makes the whole night go smoothly. And that makes that takes stress off of you. It takes stress off the other vendors you're working with. It just makes it an enjoyable event.
Yes, we try. We try to work together. And like always, whenever they hire me, I say, whenever you sign the contract, whenever you say yes to my quote, I said, you don't have to worry about anything. I will take care of everything. And even though if it's not my thing, and I was talking to one of the vendors Saturday, I told them, I said, we have to help each other. We're not that kind of people that, oh, it's not that's not my job, I'm not going to do it. Right. No, we're going to help each other just to try to, take the stress away from the bride and their family.
Right, and it's important for all the vendors to work together, because I've been in some situations where everybody has their set point that they do, or set, plan, and they don't vary from it. And that puts stress, just adds a little stress factor to everything. So, I've watched caterers help photographers before, help the florist, and vice versa. So it all goes around and it comes around, and it just, once it's done and it's beautiful and you get those images and it's like, wow, that was really impressive,
And every time that we serve in a wedding, I always say, it's not only us. It's, if you see a beautiful table, David is always involved. Any other florists that we're working with, they're always involved. So it's a group effort. It's not only, team effort. It's not only one person doing it. It's a lot of people that makes it happen.
That's true. Well, Sandy, our time is up already. I can't believe it's gone that quickly, but yes. I sure appreciate you taking time and coming back in town today to be here for this. And so I look forward to seeing you Thursday evening.
So. Well, nice. Thank you for having me. Nice talking to y'all. And yeah, see you Thursday.
Okay. How do people reach you? We're going to put your...
They can Google, on my website, Sandy's Mexican Bakery and Catering.com. And then in Facebook. I'm big time on Facebook, Sandy's Mexican Bakery and Catering. And we're there.
Okay. We've got it on the screen, so that way they can contact you. And like I said, also the bridal show on the 17th at the Cooper Alumni Center in Jonesboro. That's going to be a great way to taste all your delicious food as well.
Yes. Yes. Just come and see you there. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you for joining us for another episode of Lux Life Discovered.
Check out Lux Life Discovered on Facebook and Instagram and on 30a.tv. See you next time on Lux Life Discovered.